If you're going to have Cena and you're going to have Cody Rhodes go at it again at their second biggest event of the year, I think throwing CM Punk into that mix makes a lot of sense. Welcome to the Pin Down, the Sports Illustrated Pro Wrestling Show. Kent Brown and Gene Chery here with you. WWE was just in Saudi at Night of Champions. We are now back in the States, and we're going to go right to the one count. And that is clear. What is next for John Cena? He gets the win over CM Punk. Cody Rhodes wins King of the Ring, defeating Randy Orton. It's setting up for a potential one-on-one, but we know CM Punk's involved. We know Seth Rollins involved. There are a lot of people, Gene, in this picture. So my question to you is, what's next for John Cena as SummerSlam approaches?
Man, the way SummerSlam's looking, if I were to book SummerSlam with John Cena, I think you throw all these guys in there. I think you throw in CM Punk. I think you throw in Cody Rhodes. I think you throw in Randy Orton. John Cena has been, I'll admit, I was not a fan of the heel run when it first happened. But these last few months, since he's won the title against Orton, just beat CM Punk, I'm loving where it's going right now. And to me, it's got to get bigger. And why not just throw everybody in the mix? SummerSlam is a 2-night event. You've got the biggest stars. Let this man knock off every single one of these guys on his road to retirement.
And then when you look at John Cena, he continues to win by being a cheater, being a bad guy. Seth Rollins came out. It looked like he might cash in. We'll get to that a bit later in terms of what his significance is with this Money in the Bank briefcase. But John Cena, once again, it's not a clean win, but it's perfect for the character. And then CM Punk was left in the middle of the ring, angry, upset, probably could have had the match won, and instead the Vision, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins cost him the title. I don't think CM Punk's done yet. I feel like if you look at what happened at WrestleMania, and we were there, the crowd was not happy because of how it ended. So to me, if you're going to have Cena and you're going to have Cody Rhodes go at it again at their second biggest event of the year, I think throwing CM Punk into that mix makes a lot of sense.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Yeah, Cena's won by cheating, but you saw a little babyface in that matchup with CM Punk. He had a chance to knock CM Punk's head off with that title, and he dropped it. And you kind of saw the crowd starting to shift. I think we're slowly getting back into John Cena turning babyface. I don't know if it's going to happen fully at SummerSlam, but you saw a little bit of him like, you know what? Let me try to beat this guy straight up. I got so much respect for this dude. Let me try to beat him straight up and show I'm the better man without having to go through these tactics. That being said, he did end up cheating in the end, but I do think we're starting to see something. And I do think CM Punk would be one of the perfect guys to turn Cena back into that baby face. These guys have an incredible rivalry. If you would have told me CM Punk would have been John Cena's biggest rival, I would have said no. I would have said it would have been Orton, would have been Edge. But in this latest chapter of Punk and Cena, it's been beautiful to watch. And I agree. I think these guys need to run it back a couple more times before it's all said and done.
Could I ask you this, because it's going to be the question asked leading into SummerSlam? Do we see The Rock? After not seeing him at WrestleMania, I have to think if it's Cody and it's Cena and it's about The Rock saying, sell your soul to me, if he doesn't show up again, we've completely lost any payoff from what happened early this year. But on the other hand, do we see him? There's no guarantee we're going to see The Rock. I would think that we're likely to have The Rock involved leading into what's, as you said, their biggest SummerSlam to date, the first 2-night SummerSlam in New York City. So I'm asking you, does Dwayne Johnson return? He's TKO board. It's clear that the story was not solved after WrestleMania. I think we have to see him before the end of August.
You're not wrong. Storyline-wise, you have to see The Rock. You have to see the great one, the most electrifying man, the final boss. But I just don't think – I think if you are going to bring him in, it has – you can't leave fans half full. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to finish this story, no pun intended. But in the sense where, like, The Rock, we saw what happened. It was a debacle, man. He came in and completely ruined the ending of not showing up at WrestleMania. You saw how disappointed fans were. If he doesn't show up again, it's, yeah, like you said, it's going to be an L. That being said, I don't think we're going to see him, man. I really don't. I think if we would have we would have seen that seed planted just a little bit. I think WWE has completely gone away. They don't even mention him at all in this scenario. And I think it's best at this point. I think they caught the L at WrestleMania, and they're trying to end the story, give Cena his proper, send off. And I don't see The Rock coming back. And as much as dope as it would have been, I just don't see it, or I'm not getting my hopes up. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, I'm all right with it.
I want to see it. I think we'll see it, but I know what you're saying. They don't necessarily need it if you do the story right. Let's now go to our 2 count, and that's Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, has, as we said, this group around him that seems to be getting stronger by the week. And it looked like he was going to cash in. And all of a sudden, it didn't quite work out. He does end up costing CM Punk the match. So that feud is not going away anytime soon. But then there's the other champion. There's Gunther on the Raw brand as the world champ. Who does he cash in against? Because ultimately for Seth Rollins, is it about the WWE title, knowing you could be the last person to defeat John Cena as champ? Or does he go the Gunther route, which I don't know if it's quote unquote the easier route, but it's definitely the route that I think less people would want to see him take that title for. But on Monday Night Raw, he showed up. He faced Gunther one-on-one in terms of in the ring together. And Seth Rollins is really setting the tone of, you don't know which title I'm going for. So both champions need to be on high alert.
Absolutely. And John Cena put hands on Rollins, man. So at the end of the day, like, you telling me Seth isn't going to get his lick back? I think Seth is going to get his revenge on John Cena one way or another. That being said, it's Gunther. He's taking that title away from Gunther. Gunther is a placeholder. They had this dude feuding with Pat McAfee. They had him take the title off of Jay strictly to set up a Goldberg main event at Saturday Night's main event. I think it's only a matter of time before Seth takes that belt. And to Gunther's point, he's been booked so poorly, in my opinion, in 2025, man. The fact that CM Punk could just come in, shove the champion down, and walk away unscathed, to me, shows a lack of respect. You were there at Raw, man. Like, that was wild to see on television. Just seeing CM Punk come in, put hands on the champ, and just walk out like nothing happened. To me, Gunther has been booked so weak, and it's only a matter of time before Seth cashes in. And to the Seth and CM Punk point, how many times are we going to see these guys screw each other over, man? I feel like we've seen it at least 20 times in 2025.
It's like every other week for sure.
It's every other week. These guys are interfering in each other's matches, costing each other title shots, and they've had matches already. So I don't know where the end game is with these two. But if and when Seth does cash in, I do expect CM Punk to be involved in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I do see him cashing in on Gunther and taking that title.
Here's the thing with CM Punk, though. Is there a chance maybe that we get Punk out of the Cody Cena picture entirely and we start seeing a Gunther CM Punk SummerSlam feud? Because as you mentioned, on Monday Night Raw, CM Punk was involved. He's clearly after Rollins, but he wants a world title. He has not had one since he's been back in WWE. When he looked like he was about to get one early in his stages, he got hurt. And then they had to kind of wait till he got healthy. And then there was the great Drew McIntyre feud. But we brought up a point recently. CM Punk elevates feuds, whether it's Rollins, whether it's, you throw in the fact that Drew McIntyre had his best feud. CM Punk always seems to show up and bring his top performances. Look at John Cena. I think John Cena's best month as a heel has been against CM Punk. So maybe he gets something out of Gunther. You talked about the fact that Gunther's been booked poorly. He's been a world champion, but look at the last 2 WrestleManias. He lost his Intercontinental title to Sami Zayn. He lost his world title to Jey Uso. Maybe CM Punk in the next few weeks, next month leading into SummerSlam, that could be the best month that Gunther's had. And then that still gives that Seth Rollins screw job element where Punk wins the title at SummerSlam. He's standing victorious. And here's Seth Rollins a minute later that takes it from him. I think that would be a heck of a storyline to close night 1 of a 2-night SummerSlam if we know they're going Cody and John Cena in that other night.
I love that booking, but my question is, do you do that? Do you give CM Punk the strap if it's at the expense of Gunther? Because we saw Gunther lose a lot of major feuds. We saw at Crown Jewel he lost to Cody Rhodes. We just saw him lose on the major stage at WrestleMania. And now you're telling me potentially he'd lose to CM Punk at SummerSlam? This guy is too talented to be catching L's. In my opinion, if you're gonna book him against a guy like CM Punk, let him beat CM Punk, not clean. Let him cheat to get it. But I do think a guy like Gunther, if he is the future, you have to give him one major win. Yeah, he's gonna beat Goldberg, but what does that really do for him at the end of the day? You know, I love the idea of CM Punk eventually winning a world championship, but I'm gonna go with you. I think if he is gonna win a title, you said this last week, I got him beating John Cena for that belt, and I think that would be incredible to see.
It would have. I feel like there's a lot of stuff you can do with CM Punk. His career is clearly anywhere far from over, and you would like to see him with a world title here at some point. But a lot more, I think, post Saturday night's main event, we'll know pretty clearly where Gunther's going in terms of his next feud. Let's close out with our third count here. And Karrion Kross, he loses to Sami Zayn.
Wow.
Over in Saudi Arabia. And then if you looked at it online, there were thousands of more dislikes when they put the videos up through the WWE account than likes. That almost never happens. And it's not that fans aren't liking the angle in terms of they want Karrion Kross to be on a PLE, but the fact that he lost what seemingly was going to be building his storyline towards being a nice victory on a PLE, and instead he loses. I understand on Monday Night Raw, he kind of quote unquote, you get a little redemption backstage.
That doesn't matter.
Why have him lose the match? And where do you go from here? Because he's getting a push online. The online wrestling community, the internet wrestling community wants him to be relevant. But the fact that he lost to Sami Zayn, it makes me think he's just not going to get that push.
Man, we're both NFL guys, right? We love football. And to me, this is like you're at the 1 yard line. Just punch the ball in, man. You want to throw the ball at the 1 yard line. Karrion Kross, the people are telling you they love Karrion Kross. Why is he not being pushed to the moon right now? It's right there in front of you. The guy can talk. The guy can sell a story. People are invested. He's on a PLE for the first time in forever? And
since WrestleMania 40, yes.
Come on. So in over a year, this is the first time he's on a PLE. The fans are excited to see him. Even if he had to cheat to beat Sami Zayn, it does not matter. And to me, it made absolutely no sense, man. This was a slam dunk looking right in front of you, and you have him lose. Yeah, he attacked Sami Zayn after, but Sami Zayn, it would have cost him nothing to lose to Karrion Kross on a PLE. It would have cost him absolutely nothing, and you would have gained another star. Now you're telling me, oh, this guy's not good enough to beat Sami Zayn, a guy who's never won a world championship? Karrion Kross isn't even on that level. Like, to me, it was a major L. I know eventually, hopefully, these dislikes lead to something positive. We've seen it happen in the past, but I'm a huge Karrion Kross fan, and I cannot believe that he took that L against Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and it was, out of the 6 matches, the lowest stake match in terms of you had a U.S. title switch, you had the Queen of the Ring, the King of the Ring, and then you also had a world title match, and then I guess the street fight with Rhea and Raquel was similar, but it was still a street fight. This was the only one-on-one match that didn't really have a championship/crown involved, and yet he couldn't get it done in that match. Like you said, it would have done nothing to hurt Sami Zayn, and it would have done everything to help Karrion Kross, and yet the booking committee, Triple H, everyone else, you would thought this would have been the moment, especially with SummerSlam coming up with 2 nights, that you want to start to put him in a relevant storyline to get him ready for one of those 2 nights. And now I guess my only question is Karrion Kross even on the SummerSlam card? Because if he can't win this match, where do you go from here? And why is he on that card next month in New Jersey?
Yeah, I don't get it. So now Sami Zayn's probably going to be nursing an injury if they do run it back. So Karrion Kross had to be injured. He's not good enough to beat a healthy Sami Zayn. I get it what you're doing, but I don't get it. Let me take that back. I don't understand. This guy is money. Every time he's on screen, he's electric. You care about him, right? And I think he's one of the best. Am I wrong for thinking he's one of the best talkers in the game right now? I don't think so.
I think you're right. I think if pushed correctly, he could be. And also, let's be real, they can use a few more heels that can cut promos, can give good matches, and instead they kind of are treading water with this character altogether.
I love Karrion Kross. My only knock against him, that entrance is just a little bit too long for my liking. I would just cut that time in half, and I think we good. But other than that, man, the dude is money. The dude is money.